After all of that, you can imagine I was famished. I'm about to prepare a very tasty vegan curry, which is made up of chickpeas and some butternut squash, as well as some other flavors that I'll share. So if this interests you, keep watching, but I can promise you that this is absolutely tasty and it's very easy to replicate, and it's a very nice and hearty meal that you can bulk prepare and actually freeze and eat later. So yeah, keep watching and thank me later because it was absolutely delicious. I decided to keep this curry original, and if you've ever used lemongrass, you know what I mean. Once you add it into a curry, it brings its originality. This tasted beautiful in the coconut curry. So yes, I wanted to make it special. You can either use like the tin chickpeas, or you can get it raw and cook it, but I used the one from the tins. So these are all of my ingredients. Coconut milk, you can have it again done by yourself, or you can just buy one already in the tin. It's not easy to find the time, so I appreciate that. I've had all my herbs, my onions, ginger, tomatoes, and the butternut squash ready. So let's start cooking. I added some coconut oil to a pan, and then I added my onions, one onion, some tomatoes. Let that cook for about 15 to 20 minutes till it loses its tanginess. And then of course, once you taste it, it's okay. You can add your chickpeas as well as the butternut squash. And then you give it a good mix and add your curry powder. Again, this depends on how much you want, but I'll just say that a teaspoon or a spoon of curry powder, depending on how strongly flavored you want your curry, should do. I used one from back home, so 1 teaspoon was just okay. Give that a mix, and then you can add your coconut milk. Give that another mix. And at this point, you can add your seasoning. I used vegetable cubes, 2 vegetable cubes, and a little bit of salt, some white pepper, as well as some cumin. Give that a good mix. Let that cook for all together in all of those sauces, juices, and flavors. Leave that to cook for about 20 to 25 minutes till it's soft and ready. And then I add my lemongrass at the end with some sliced chili, and then I put my ginger and garlic towards the end so that you keep the flavor authentic and you can taste the ginger. You don't lose it in the cooking. After it's cooked, you can taste it for flavors. I add my green onions and cilantro or coriander. I didn't know that it was the same thing till recently. If you're in the US, you call it cilantro. In the UK, we call it coriander. Anyway, put the flavors together. The scent, the aroma coming out of this was beautiful. I added a little bit of salt because it was not enough, and my food is ready to be served. I don't know how clear this is, but you know me and my windows. Hello. I've just had my wonderful curry that you saw me prepare before, but I want to talk about what intermittent fasting and OMAD did to me. I can say that with everything in mind, I have learned the importance of eating 1 meal a day, or if that's a bit too harsh, eating within an eating window. I have been practicing this. Just to give you guys some context, I found my rhythm a few years ago, maybe 7 years ago, and I'll put a picture of how I looked about 7 years ago. And then I had 3 kids. I had lost all the baby weight from my other kids, and I was thriving well. It was not really deliberate. I did not know there was such a term as OMAD. I just realized that my body had to go through periods of rest. If you think about it, I watched a video recently, and the way this was described was, there will be good cells and there will be bad cells. The bad cells eat on the food that you feed your body. When you starve your body, you starve them. Eating the right food, of course, makes a difference, but also the frequency of when you eat is really important. But the thing that I can say very boldly is if you space out your food and eat within, say, a 4 hours window, or let's say a 6 hour window a day, and eat a good meal that you feel like you're full and you don't eat after that. And to be hungry is not such a bad thing. Hunger is one thing. It just means that your body is tired of living on a deficit. And also, being on a right sort of diet when you're eating one meal a day is of paramount importance. So what you have to do is discipline and learn the right meals. And then once you know the right things to eat, within that window, you eat them. I still have a lot of messages from people from my videos I've done, people I know saying, what can I eat? I'm on an OMAD diet. I eat one meal a day. What do you recommend is the best thing for me to eat? I've got a whole playlist on it that I encourage you guys to watch it. I'll place it in the description and on top. Watch them and don't be too restricted when you're on a one meal a day or on intermittent fasting. But one thing I want you to bear in mind is that discipline is the most important thing. You can drink liquids when you're fasting. You can have teas with a little bit of honey, not too much. But in terms of food, let your body rest. Bear in mind, it is not a bad thing to be hungry, but it's actually good to have an empty stomach. Because an empty stomach means that you're using the fats reserved. The last thing I'll talk about, what has changed me, is also having discipline. I have been talking about discipline on this channel recently a lot because that is the basis of a lot of these things. We all know these things, but we cannot practice them without discipline. I even went further on a high value woman. A characteristic is a woman who is disciplined on what she eats and her healthy choices she makes. So I think that's the starting point. Once you get discipline, everything else falls in place. Anyway, I think I've gone on too long on this video and I'll be sharing a lot more recipes like the one you saw before. That was my one meal. Although that was a bit earlier, I had it at 2 o'clock and I had a smoothie at 11. So I ate within a 3 hour window. I'll keep you guys updated with more exciting recipes. And it's Mother's Day today in the UK, wherever you are. If you're a mother to be, you're not only a mother when you've carried a child, we are all mothers in different aspects. I wish you a happy Mother's Day. I went for football. I'm back and I'm just chilling, about to prepare for the week ahead. Thanks for watching and thanks for the love, the support. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, and if you like, give us a thumbs up. If you don't, give us a thumbs down. That is all criticism that we would want to learn from. Thanks again, and I'll see you in my next video.